I have concerns. I really do have concerns. But first, let's address the recent news. Hedera had a big day on Capitol Hill this week, featuring remarks by Bill Miller and Representative Jeff Crank to panels with Representative Kim Young, Gabe Amo, Charles Atkins, Matt Harmon. Of course, they represent the newly founded Hedera Foundation. They explored policy, opportunity for U.S. leadership in the space, the future of AI, and DLT, which seems to be the new direction for the Hedera Foundation, as emphasized by these comments here from Lehman Baird.
The intersection of Hedera with artificial intelligence and machine learning and LLMs and all of that stuff for agents and for other purposes. And this intersection of the Web3 world with the AI world is actually critical because both of these two halves are the future. They really are. They're changing the world independently. Their intersection is even more important.
Now, although I agree with his sentiment that the intersection of AI and blockchain, or AI and DLT, is very important, I agree with it from two different aspects. One, obviously the technology. Blockchain technology is actually what will make artificial intelligence mainstream. It will also make artificial intelligence a lot more trustworthy, especially in the case of Hedera. We know they can do something called verified compute thanks to their partner Equity Lab. NVIDIA is actually making use of verified compute as we speak to back up their language learning models. Because the thing is, when we're talking about trust, is when you go to use a certain language learning model, you run into the risk of the data that your model is sourcing from being wrong, inaccurate, false even. With verified compute on Hedera, Hedera has found a way to tailor its DLT to register those sources of information. So that way, when future language learning models go to build, they can use that data or plug Hedera into the language learning model to act as the register for the data for future use. So from the technology standpoint, 100% I'm with it. It makes a bunch of sense. And then the second layer is socially. Like I said, people won't be able to trust AI without the blockchain verification for it. So when he mentions an intersection, yeah, AI and DLT are at an intersection, but they still have yet to cross the expanse that is pop culture. Some people are familiar with AI. Companies like Gemini, Meta, they're doing a good job by introducing it into social media platforms, mobile devices, things of that nature. Apple too, but I hear they're having issues with their AI. But they're doing a good job by getting people ready. Once it hits a tipping point and AI applications are everywhere, it's at scale, and people are starting to see what's wrong with it, that's when blockchain will become a much needed commodity. That's when applications like Hedera's verified compute will become a high value commodity, because this AI stuff has gotten completely out of hand. We can't tell. Here's what I fear when it comes to AI is one day we will see a video of a person saying something that that person in real life did not or would not ever say. But once the video hits Twitter, it's a wrap. Everybody's reposting, everybody's sharing, everybody's commenting, and the market is tanking 10 to 15%. That's my biggest fear. Verified compute would address that. Now, to get to the other side of this, though, because when I look at Hedera getting involved with Capitol Hill, talking to policymakers, leadership within the government, it calls back a conversation that was had I call it a conversation now because when I went back to find this article, you guys remember this story, Hedera recognized by US government for role in human rights. This is when Hedera was brought into the democratic it was something democratic technology policy to promote something of that nature, right? Simply though, when I went back to look for the story, the State Department had removed it. I immediately began to think that, okay, this was 2023, Biden administration. A lot of stuff has gotten removed since then. That was my immediate thought. But to still see them getting involved with these players is obviously a good sign. My concern truly lies in this new direction for Hedera because, and I'm pretty sure many of you in the community will agree, what direction is it? Where are y'all going? Because if it's AI, I believe that is too far of a stretch. Yes, AI is all over the place. And yes, you provided verified compute, which is a gold mine when it comes to securing and verifying AI applications. But that's still years in the future when you already had supply chain applications that are ready to hit the market now. What happened to the relationship between USDC and Hedera? USDC is all over the map. Hedera should be right next to it. On top of that, what about the DPIN applications that were being developed with Neuron out in the UK, as well as Atma.io, Avery Dennison, Mondelez International, SKUX? There were so many other directions that Hedera could have taken that they're not, that concerns me. So this new era for Hedera is being driven by whom? That is the biggest question. That is also my concern about Hedera. When I posted the story of the new governing council member, Arrow Electronics, and the reaction that I got from you guys showed me, it showed me that the sentiment has definitely changed. So I had to dig a little bit and try to figure out what exactly was going on. Hedera still has the same problems with marketing. There isn't any. They still have the same problem with proper leadership. Yes, Mance and Lehman are geniuses, but it appears to me that they aren't as equipped at running a company as others in this space are. Let me show you some data to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. This is total value locked on Hedera going back to 2023. It's been quite a roller coaster ride, that's for sure. Lots of ups and downs in the market, lots of major announcements, big tokenization partners, things like that. But you can see ever since the start of the year, pretty much on the back end of the presidential rally, total value locked on Hedera is dwindling quite significantly, right? And then another number here. Core developers. Thanks to Token Terminal, I'm getting exposed to new key performance indicators for our blockchain networks, and it is changing the way I look at a lot of the assets that we have followed for years. We're all entitled to a change in opinion when new information presents itself. This information right here concerns me. Hedera started the year with 92 core developers. As of June of this year, they got 28. My question is, what went wrong, or what is currently going wrong where you can't keep core development? I looked at another network, Stellar. Their numbers have actually increased when it comes to core developers. They're standing at 58 right now. So I would be a lot more comfortable with a network with at least 58 core developers as opposed to a network with a dwindling amount of core developers sitting at 28 people right now. You look at some of the other networks in the space. Algorand, for example, core developers up in the 60s to the 70s. Ethereum, 2 to 300, obviously. Solana, 100, 150. Tron, 100 and 150. This core developer metric, ladies and gentlemen, has to be directly correlated with the rate of adoption or the rate of applications, new applications that hit the market or hit a particular network. If Hedera is having problems keeping core developers, how much more can we expect to come from the network in the coming months? It all lends back to the leadership problem, the direction problem, and the marketing problem. They can't market Hedera properly because no one can put Hedera on a concrete path. We started as an enterprise network. Now it's a deep end network, or now it's artificial intelligence. For a minute, it was RWAs. To that point, all of the RWA offerings that Archax said that they were going to bring to Hedera, as of today, the only ones that are on record are on the XRP ledger and XDC. I wonder if the core developer thing was a problem. So, guys, like I said, I'm just a bit concerned about Hedera. Looking at the metrics, especially those provided by Token Terminal, DeFi Llama, those metrics have me concerned. And now, with events going on around the world, the market is going to have even more sell pressure. Assets like Hedera are not going to do too well. They're just not. And I'm speaking from years of watching assets fall up and down the market cap, while other assets have sustained their positions in the market cap or increased their position after a couple of cycles. We have reached that point in the space where we can start to tell the difference. The ones that stay in the top 25, them the ones that you want to keep your eyes on. So, with that, guys, don't forget to download the educational material. Links will be in the description as well as the pinned comment. Outside of that, another way to support the channel, check out one of our affiliate partners. With prices going low, this is the best time to get into the market and get a position. I got all the tools and resources you need. And then, of course, if you want to look fly for the summertime, rock some DHN crypto gear in the off season, we have merch. And any purchase through our affiliate partners or of the educational downloads, you guys know I'm appreciate eternally. Now, I do want to just put this out here for those who have made it to this far. I'm gonna let you know we are going to slow down the pace of content. I may do one full show like this one a week, because I'm gonna tell you, bear market conditions for us independent content creators is tough. So I'm doing the best thing that I can to manage the workload as well as the work-life balance. We are in summer vacation, so that means I got 2 small, hyperactive, energetic children at the crib now. So I gotta balance it. So with that, guys, again, I want to thank you for 5 amazing years. I look forward to 5 more. And y'all know what time it is. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.